Hello everyone, my name is Melissa Dell and I am with Bling Diva Designs, and I'm here to speak with you about one of the scariest experiences that you will have during the course of your wedding planning, and that is anything that's involved with money, which covers every single item that you will possibly need for your wedding day. We'll be having some panelists chime in on their wedding day experiences, and here is about mine. My husband and I were married in 2008, and we had 14 months to plan for our wedding. We did receive a couple of gifts of purchasing of a cake from one of my aunts and my uncles. My mother purchased my wedding dress and some other miscellaneous items that were paid for by our family, but predominantly most, I would say 75% of the wedding was covered by us. The reason that we were able to successfully pull off our wedding without putting one single item on our credit card was that we prioritized from the beginning what we wanted and what we didn't feel that we needed.
When I became engaged 4 years ago, I was so excited, not just because I was getting married, but I'd be able to plan my own wedding day. A lot of people asked how I would do it, living 6 hours away from where the event would take place. But the good thing is my husband and I sat down and brainstormed, and we came up with the idea that every time we'd go home and visit family and friends, we'd make sure to visit vendors and reception sites. We ended up choosing a resort just outside of the state line that was big enough to seat 300 plus people that we had on our list. It was a big to do, so the meals and drinks would cost a lot, but with the help of my family as well as my husband's, we were able to pull together and make it all work. The next thing that I had to think about were flowers. Now thankfully I have a stepmother who's very hands-on, and she came up with the idea to buy fake flowers, yes, fake flowers, and put them together for the bridesmaids. The only real flowers that we had to buy was for the church, myself, our parents, grandparents, the groom, and the groomsmen. It didn't look that bad. As a matter of fact, many people complimented on the arrangements and asked where they came from.
One of the items that I DIY'd, which actually prompted the start of my business a couple months later, was my cake topper. From the very beginning, I was determined to have a crystal monogram on top of my cake, and I quickly realized that that was not going to be a financial possibility until I relied on the resources that I had with my father's business. So we created together my cake topper, and this is not the same type of materials that I use now for my business, but I just wanted to show you all. This is my monogram cake topper. It was covered by hand with all the crystals. It was one of the best pieces of accessory that I had on my wedding day.
Yeah, as far as our cake goes, I kind of laugh about it these days, but we actually bought it at a local grocery store. Before you laugh, just remember that no one knew the difference, and it was eaten in less than 5 minutes.
We did not have a traditional wedding in any sense of the word. We were planning this big wedding, traditional wedding from day one, as soon as we got engaged, because that's just what you do. You know, you get engaged and you take a year and you plan this wedding, invite all your friends and family, yada, yada, yada. But when it came down to my own, I don't know, I guess it just became less and less important, and what became more and more important was just saying the vows to my husband and using the money that we would have spent on our wedding for maybe some more practical purposes, like saving for a down payment on a house. We had just had our first baby, and so there was that to take into account, and I was trying to get my photography business off the ground and running. So one day, my best friend from Colorado flies in to Florida and says, "Hey, while I'm down here, you might as well just get married." And I thought it was a fabulous idea. We had 4 days to get this together. So I had $60. I found a wedding dress at Macy's on sale for 60 bucks. I had it overnight shipped to me. The only other things that we bought were our wedding rings from a vendor on Etsy, and also some little birds to go on the cake, like little cake topper birds that were handmade from Etsy as well. We found our officiant from on Craigslist. He was a little bit kooky, but that's okay. We're totally cool with kooky here at our house. Yeah, and that was about it.
The good thing about getting married is we did it in a way that we were able to save money. Although some of the ideas might seem a little funny, it worked well for us. And I would suggest it for you.